A new 2025 restaurant report from Square just was released, and it shows how you dine depends on many different factors. And joining us this morning is an expert, a James Beard nominated restaurant owner, Ming-Tai Huh. Good morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And you are an expert. We were just talking during the break. I mean, you've got what, 8 restaurants of your own?
That's right. I'm a partner in the restaurant group here in the Boston area.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to all the tips, and let's start with that. Let's start with tipping. Now, are Americans tipping more or less in 2025, and does it depend on region?
Well, at Square, and looking at the data, we're actually seeing economic uncertainty affect how Americans tip. Tipping is down across the board, below 15%, and that's affecting restaurants of all types. Bars, usually with the highest tips, full-service restaurants, and quick service are all on the decline. Now, this is also affecting restaurant workers. Restaurant workers' pay usually comes from about a quarter from tips, and so their take-home will see a hit as well.
Yeah, gosh, that's so unfortunate too. But you know, the report also shows fast food industry is currently climbing. Now, why do you think that is, and is it going to stay that way?
Yeah, that's a similar theme. Economic uncertainty leading to consumers being really choosy and picky about where they want to spend their money and really seeking value. So fast casual segment within fast food seeing a ton of growth, 16%. And that means that consumers are choosing to seek quality, but also convenience and affordability.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, since the pandemic, ordering online has gotten really easy. It's right at our fingertips. Now, how does that help and hurt restaurants?
Yeah, absolutely. I do this myself with the family for pizza night, but depending on how you order actually can determine how much you pay. If you're using a third-party apps usually come with commissions that are charged to the restaurant. And restaurants usually try to compensate for these commission fees by raising their prices on third-party apps. So if you're looking for the best price and you want to support your local business, try going directly to their website.
Yeah, that's a great tip. You know, we can always do that. Now, with that report, were there any big surprises in terms of trends from consumers that made you say, "Oh, wow, that's really interesting"?
Well, there's some really interesting things about oat milk, for instance, that we can talk about the preferences being geographic, but also about consumers really being acceptable around technology in restaurants. They're using it for online ordering, maybe kiosks as well. Restaurant operators are desperately looking for operational efficiency, and consumers are okay with it.
Yeah, definitely consumers looking for that convenience. Now, where can consumers and restaurant owners learn more about changing dining preferences?
Yeah, we've got the latest trends at squareup.com/restaurants. Go there and learn more.
All right, squareup.com/restaurants. I know we covered a lot of topics, but anything that you want to mention to our viewers that we didn't talk about?
Well, I think it's really interesting about some of the trends that are happening in the space, but it all is depending on how things are working locally in new markets. You know, in Michigan, oat milk, for instance, which is something that we have a lot of data on, is actually really higher compared to the national average. We're seeing in some other states, still traditional dairy dominates.
Oh, wow, that is interesting. Well, you know what? We appreciate all these helpful tips. You certainly are an expert, and we'll look forward to having you back very soon. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Cheryl.